Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I decided I would post a video of my current watch collection. It's been a couple months since I posted my last video, so without further ado, let's get into it. I'm not going to get into the big details about the watches. I have done a lot of reviews on the watches that I'm going to show you right now, so if you have any other interest in more detail on some of these watches, just look at my past videos, because there's likely to be a video on them. So the first video, or first watch rather, is my vintage Ball Trainmaster watch. This was my great-grandfather's watch, who actually, he worked on the railroads. So this was a great little watch. It was the first time I ever heard about Ball watch. It's a hand-wound watch, and I don't think it's ever been serviced, and it runs great. I don't wear it very often just because it is a vintage watch and I don't want it to break, but I just love the simplicity of it and it's a good size. So I just really fell in love with Ball watch once I discovered the brand. So once I discovered Ball, I decided to get a more modern day version. So this is the Ball Engineer Marvelite 2 white face dial, and just an incredibly well-built watch. I love it. It's one of my favorite watches I currently have in my collection. It runs basically chronometer specs, even though it's not chronometer certified. It's anti-magnetic, shock resistant, and it has the tritium tubes, which is really, really nice. So love this watch. I wear it a lot. Next one is another vintage watch. This is the Citizen 8110 Bullhead chronograph. I saw this in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for the first time, and I was curious to see what Brad Pitt was wearing. He was wearing a gold version of this in the movie, and once I looked it up, I fell in love with it. I was like, man, I got to get one of these. It's obviously a chronograph, and it's small. It's not too bulky, vintage. So I gambled and bought this on eBay, and it runs pretty well. Obviously with eBay, you never know what you're going to get especially when it comes to vintage watches, but I really like this watch. So great watch, great find. Next up is the Seiko SKX 007. Another great watch. Love the Seiko. This is kind of my beater watch, or my travel watch. Anytime I go on vacation or travel somewhere, I'm usually wearing this watch. And as you can see right now, I got it on a NATO. But I love the Jubilee that it comes on too. Just a great watch. Loom is great. Don't worry, 200 meters of water resistance. Don't have to worry about breaking it. Very robust watch. Very nice. And even if it does break, they're not that expensive. And they have been discontinued, but there are still plenty in circulation. So if you wanted to get one of these, I would definitely recommend it. Next up is my Aorus. This is the Aorus BC3 7500. And this was one of the first, I guess I would say this was the first nice watch I bought. I bought about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, secondhand. And I love this watch. It was my first high beat watch. This beats at 28,800 beats per hour. So very nice watch. Day date function on the 12 and 6. And just a great watch. This is on a aftermarket Jubilee, which I really like. So I still wear this quite often, and it's just a good versatile watch. Kind of goes good with pretty much any kind of situation. So very nice watch. Next up is the Seiko Sarb 035. Another beautiful watch I bought secondhand. Love the one thing, or the main thing I love about this watch is the specs. It is about 38 millimeters across and roughly, if I remember off the top of my head, about 44 lug to lug. So just a great size. And I just love the sizing of it. And that's the main reason I still have it. They have been discontinued. I don't think this is ever going to go up in price significantly, but if you look on eBay or other markets, the price has jumped up a bit just because it has been discontinued. But it's a great watch. And this is the cream colored dial, as you can see. It's not white, it's more of a cream color. And another great watch. What else do I got? All right. Next up, this was probably my most recent purchase. I think I got it this year, actually. probably the only watch I bought this year, and I've done a review on it. This is the Orient Kamasu. I had an Orient earlier on in my watch collecting. I had an Orient Ray 2 in orange, and I sold that. And ever since I sold it, I kind of wanted another Orient in my collection, just because they're another great bang per buck watch. And once I saw the red dial Kamasu come out, I was like, ooh, I gotta get that. I had not had a red-faced watch in my collection, and I thought this one was really nice. And this came on a strap code Jubilee bracelet. Bought this secondhand, and it was a good deal with the secondhand, with the aftermarket bracelet. So a very nice watch. Again, very robust. Not very versatile, but the red does turn like dark brown in a lot of lighting, so it's not quite as... The red doesn't stand out quite as much as you would think if you've never seen it in person, but very good watch. Enjoyed a lot. So any watch is, in my opinion, is not complete unless you have a GShock. So this was the first GShock I bought about 4 years ago. So this is the GShock DW6900BB. And I bought this one because I loved the negative display and I loved the all black look. I thought this was really nice. And if you don't know anything about GShocks, they're just great beater watches. They're pretty much, you know, very, very durable, waterproof, shockproof. You can do anything to them. Great yard work watch. If you're, you know, if they break, they're not that expensive to replace. So very cool watch. I really enjoyed it. And that led me to buy my second GShock. So I wanted this one here. This is the GShock GW-M5610. The reason why I bought this one was it was a smaller size than the other GShock, and this one has the tough solar, which means it is solar powered. So you don't have to change the battery. You just have to expose this to some sunlight every once in a while, and it charges the battery. And it's pretty much if you had a 1 or 2 watch, 3 watch collection, this would probably be one of the watches I would pick to put in the collection, just because it's got a calendar, it's got a timer, it's got an alarm, it has atomic time, it's solar powered. It's basically the toughest watch in my collection. It's definitely the toughest, and it's just very versatile. Not versatile, but it just has a lot of functions, and it's just very, very practical watch to have. So second GShock here, love it. Might get another GShock in the future, but as of now, I just have 2. But with the 2 I have, I'm very happy with. Okay, got a few more vintage watches here. So this is another one that I inherited from my grandfather, so this has a lot of sentimental value too. This is the Seiko Flightmaster 7T346A09. This is a battery-powered chronograph. The battery is currently dead in it. I don't wear this one very much just because it is older and I don't want it to get too banged up, but very cool watch. It's got a second time zone. It's got an alarm function, chronograph up to 30 minutes, and a date function. And this is a slide rule, which I don't know how to use, but still very cool. Love the jangly Jubilee clasp that it comes on. So very cool watch. Love it. Definitely got to put a battery in it. And I'll probably make a video on how to use the alarm function on this, because people have asked me, how do you use the alarm function on this? It's not super easy to figure out right away, but if you look online, it is on there. So I'll do a video on how to use the alarm on this in the future. But again, great watch. Love the two-tone. I think the two-tone's slowly coming back, but it was kind of out of fashion for a while. But great watch. All right. Now, this is a Seiko Day Date, and I don't really know much else about this watch. If you go online, you can figure out how old your Seikos are if you type in the serial numbers. And if I remember correctly, I put in these serial numbers here and the one on the bottom. And this one was made, I believe, in October of '73. So definitely an older watch, but I just love the size, the style, and this has sentimental value to me too, because I wore this watch on my wedding day, and it's not currently running too well right now, so I'm gonna have to get it serviced. But I just loved the aesthetics of the watch, the simplicity, and definitely gonna get it running again. Not a very expensive watch, but I just love the aesthetics of it. Very cool, and just love the silver dial. It's got a slightly domed, flat dome crystal to it. Day date function, very cool. So definitely gonna hold on to this for a while, if not forever. All right, so this one I have not done a video on, and this is probably the oldest watch I currently have. And this is another one I've gotten from my family. This is a Hamilton, and this one is so small. This bracelet I can barely even put on my wrist, but this one is hand wind, and I don't have the model or the model name of this watch. As you can see, the one on the 10 is missing, but this was my great-great-grandfather's watch, and he got this, I believe, when he retired. So that was my grandfather's name. Somak Corp, I think, was the company that he retired from. So very cool watch. I love the style. I never wear this just because it's so old, and I did have it serviced, but it still doesn't run that well. So again, gonna hold on to this forever. It is gold plated, so I like that. The small seconds hand on the bottom, seconds dial on the bottom, love it. But again, this stays in my safe pretty much all the time. And then the last one is another family heirloom. This is a Howard pocket watch. Not a wristwatch, but a pocket watch. And this one's really cool too. This one's gold plated. This is from my uncle. Those were his initials. And the only pocket watch I really have. And this one stays in the safe most of the time too, but it's just cool to have. This one does run a little bit better than the Hamilton. And again, I love the style. Very cool. Kind of made me want to buy a more modern day or more modern pocket watch. I mean, that's not really a thing anymore, but it would be cool just to carry around a pocket watch that works. So there you have it. These are the current watches in my collection. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.